Welcome to episode 9 of Madoka Magica. Last time ended really tragically with Sayaka completely losing it and becoming a witch. And so we'll see where that goes. It was hard to watch. There was definitely a lot of emotion behind it, so I really want to see what's going to happen and where this is all going to go. So we're going to watch and discuss. Got the subtitles and timer on screen if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the full episode on the side. But let's get into it. We're starting after any logos. She's got the soul gem in her hand here. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. And will Madoka become a magical girl? Sayaka is in so much danger. She's gone through all this. Maybe. I've also been thinking back to the opening scene of episode 1, which I'll talk about later in the discussion, depending on what happens. But we'll see. So is this Sayaka as a witch? We've got music, of course. Oh, there she is. Because of, her friend. So now Kyoko's got to fight. She was right there when it happened. So yeah, how exactly does this whole thing work? So her body is just empty. Her soul was in the soul gem, so I guess it's just her soul has become that now, it would seem. Homura just gonna blow her up. Of course she's there, though, because she's got time manipulation power, I guess, so she just can get to places when she needs to be there. Nice. And it has a sword, so... yeah. So yeah, she's just stopped time. Yeah, there's nothing in that body anymore. Is there any way to... I think the only way to fix it would be with Madoka's potential godlike powers. If she ever actually goes through with it. Well, shit. Well, while the OP is playing, let me say that if you enjoy these videos and you want to be notified when new ones come out, subscribe to the channel. You've got Madoka on Fridays with other videos every single day of the week. Also check out the links down in the description below. There's Twitter and Discord if you want to hang out there, and Patreon if you want to support this channel and help me continue to make videos like this and get these videos early, and also vote in polls and get exclusive vlogs. So thank you very much. But yeah, we'll see if she finally does it. I've been thinking back on that scene in episode 1. If that's literally just going to be exactly what happens. And we've got to wait for that. But again, I'll talk more about that later. But Sayaka being my favorite, having a lot of stuff going on with her character, and then being driven to this is really sad. It kind of sucks. But we'll see how it all turns out. All because she wanted this boy to like her, and then her friend was going to ask him out, and led to all this with everything else that was happening. I Won't Let That Happen is the title of this one. Alright. You got that shot at the end of the OP with Madoka, Sayaka, and Mami all smiling. One's dead. One's a witch. One of them is eternally depressed. Fun. Such a cute show. And now, look at that. Madoka just... oh, here's something you can be sad about more. Jesus. Yep. She's gone. Your soul can be corrupted. That was definitely something that was pretty easy to see coming. But the grander scale of Kyubey's plans, I still have a lot of questions about. And when Homura has talked about magical girls that she's seen die, have more of the... Well, there's a lot of questions there too, but has she seen many like fall just in battle? Or do most of them just become witches like that? Also wanted praise from her guy, but yeah, she did want to help people. What do you do now, Madoka? No, she's... Don't take it out on her. She's very straightforward, though, as always. She just cares about Madoka, so whatever it takes to get the lesson across. It's like, hey, look, this is what can happen, so don't do it. She's willing to traumatize her if it gets her to stop. And now she's just on the ground crying. Well, shit. It's cool to see Kyoko come around so much, too, recently. But, you get the fuck out of here. No! Fuck off! Even more reason you should have been honest about what it really means to become a magical girl. But of course, why would you? Then they'd say no. Okay. Burning off energy. Alright. The loss of energy. So you're trying to stop that? Just energy that can just... Alright. Yeah, I can tell. And humans were a good candidate, apparently. So here we get a breakdown of his motives as far as he's being truthful. You just have a hard time trusting him. He's a little creeper. Wow. So basically, girls hitting puberty. So this is all for the greater good. According to him. Which I was wondering about. That would be possible. This is Gurren Lagann. Doing it for the sake of the universe. Sacrificing them, turning them into magical girls, and thus witches to create this energy for what they consider to be the greater good. As creepy as Kyubey is and how much you want to just strangle him, he's not evil. And yeah, they do have to agree, but he's also not telling them the full truth. But he also doesn't see it as a big deal. He just doesn't understand where they're coming from. Yeah, he literally he can't relate. They don't have emotions. That's just his species. That's how his biological makeup. He's just that way. I don't know what it means to trick someone. Quite a lot. So he's like, what does it matter if some of you die? Yeah, exactly. He can't relate. Technically, yes. That's very kind of you. Well, the first one sounds okay, but can we stop before step two? Then maybe you can stop this for a while. Like her energy will be so beneficial to the universe. Wow, just straight. Okay, we just got a whole big ass dump of his motives. That was surprising, but good to know. That just opens up a whole new aspect of the plot. Like, what the hell's gonna happen now? Get some burgers and fries. Probably not, unless maybe Madoka could do it with her crazy god power. So he's saying that even he doesn't know the full extent of what they could possibly do. It's never happened. But he can't rule it out entirely. And poor Hitomi has no idea. She asked out Kyosuke, and she has no idea what that caused. How are things going there anyway? I mean, what else can she do? She's not one of you. She's just gotta keep living as best she can. Yeah, our teacher just talks about eggs and shit. We don't, it doesn't, what are we learning there? I'll just study online. I'm sure she does. Is she gonna try to advise her to become a magical girl to save her? Are you willing to do it? Like, forget about stopping the entropy of the universe or whoever gives a shit. Do you want to save your friend? If we go that route, then it's also Steins Gate. Steins Gate combined with Gurren Lagann. I didn't know I wanted that, but I should have known. Why wouldn't I want two shows on my top 10 to combine together? To form a third show on my top 10, basically. I don't think that would happen. This doesn't feel like that kind of story, though. I mean, you never know. I really like how Kyoko has changed in this story. I think it felt pretty natural. And again, like in such a short amount of time, because the show is so short, like it's able to go through all this stuff like so quickly and do so much with all these characters, but not feeling rushed either. So I was wondering like how Kyoko would come around to their side, and just the way that it's happened has been pretty good, I think. The Fibonacci sequence. No, I'm just gonna go. I truly don't care. I'm just leaving. She could still show up to try to stop you, slash just help Madoka survive and not make the choice she's been trying to stop her from making the whole time. Walpurgis. I don't know if that is the thing that Homura was fighting at the beginning of episode 1. Walpurgis Night, Walpurgis Schnacht, or whatever. Same difference. Nacht. Night. So it's her. Okay. Transformation time. I don't know what kind of other abilities she may have gotten from her wish, you know? Because, like, Sayaka's wish was related to healing, so she had advanced healing. Her wish was for people to listen to her dad. Did that give her any, like, special abilities? Here we go. Well, I mean, it's pretty brave to even get involved at all, having no power. Yeah, is it cowardly or is it just smart? Like why would you? Why put your survival at risk? Probably. It's got to happen someday. Oh shit. Oh, all right. Hello. The violin, of course. That really sucks that like that it this is not just some other witch, but this Sayaka, she's got her knight, she's her knight's armor and the swords. Let's see if they can do it. I don't know if it's going to work out that easily though. I don't really see it happening that way. So she'll fight while Madoka talks. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd be really surprised. It'd be great to see Sayaka back, but I don't see it happening that way. Hopefully she's fine fighting her off, too. Hopefully she doesn't get hurt. That would suck. Somebody else dies or something bad happens to them trying to get Sayaka back. Yeah. Little revenge, I guess. Damn. Getting hit hard with those. It's got Madoka. Shit. I don't think she's... Is there any chance? Okay, yeah, I'm like, I don't think she's gonna spare you just because of who you are. I don't think she's gonna come through there. But Kyoko comes in with the save. I don't know, is there gonna be like a little bit of Sayaka left in there? Well, damn. Kyoko's pretty hurt. I like the mermaid. It did show, like that scene in the alleyway, it had the mermaid on the one side and the unicorn on the other. How badly hurt is she? There's no way Kyoko's gonna die here. Oh my god. Really? I had been thinking she would die at some point because of the opening scene of episode 1. But I didn't think it'd be here already like this. From Sayaka. From trying to save Sayaka here. And it might not happen, but it seems like it's going that way. Look at that. Holy shit. I mean, we just had the last episode end with Sayaka's tragedy, and now that happens? My god. Yeah, okay, he said it was impossible. For Madoka to spur her on. Oh, to get Madoka to help you because she can't do it by herself. She's gonna need help. So, get Madoka to help. Which again, that's what I was theorizing, that the Walpurgis was what was happening at the beginning of episode 1. So we've got to wait for that before she finally makes the jump and becomes one. We don't get the typical ending. Well, goddamn. Alright, just continue with that then, show. Just keep up with the tragedy, why don't you? I have no idea how this is going to turn out in the end. But I can't wait to find out, so let's talk about this episode. Alright, episode 9, just when you think we've had enough tragedy as of late. Nope, let's have more of that, but also some really great world building and explanation about what is going on here with Kyubey, which was unexpected for him to show up and just kind of tell Madoka all of this. But that was really cool, getting inside his head and learning what he's doing here. But yeah, I had been thinking about that opening scene in episode 1, because this entire time you're like, okay, Madoka Magica, Madoka's gonna become a magical girl. Now, right? Now? Like, every episode you just think that it's going to happen until the point, which is probably different for different people, the point where you just give up and you're like, whatever, I'm not even going to worry about it anymore. But it's pretty brilliant because they showed in episode 1, the first scene, they showed when she becomes a magical girl. Presumably that's literally what's going to happen. Like, obviously there was more to that than just some random dream. Obviously it was foreshadowing what was to come, but it didn't necessarily have to be completely literal. It didn't have to be that is actually like a concrete vision of the future that is completely what's going to happen. Even once we found out about Homura and the time traveling stuff, that's still not necessarily the case, because we just don't think it's going to take that long. Because Madoka's the main character. Of course she's going to get powers. She's going to become a Mahou Shoujo. Obviously. So you expect it to happen before that. At least that's been my experience with the show, and probably the same for a lot of people. I'd be curious to know about your experience watching the show in regards to that, wanting Madoka to finally do it when you expected her to. But yeah, the show did a really interesting thing there, where they basically showed us up front at the very beginning the moment that presumably Madoka is going to do it. But then we kind of just put that out of our minds, because we're like, okay, well, that couldn't have been literal. Like, she's obviously gonna do it early in the story. Halfway, before the 3/4 mark, like, at some reasonable point in the story, she's gonna do it, right? And then, no. So it gets to the point where you just have to accept, okay, I guess it's just gonna be like that scene in episode 1, and it's really gonna be like at the very end of the story. So I was thinking that this whole Walpurgis Night, Walpurgis Nacht thing that they've been talking about that's coming is going to be that thing that Homura was fighting in that scene in episode 1. And also, she was the only one there. Kyubey was saying she can't do this alone. Kyoko was nowhere to be seen. Of course, Mami is dead. Sayaka had become a witch, but because of that, I was thinking, is Kyoko gonna die too? But I didn't think it would happen that soon. And just like that, the way that it did here. But yeah, it seemed like it was leading up to that, and that's what would finally get Madoka to do it and take the plunge, which is really sad, because Homura's entire reason for coming back in time, there's still a lot of questions about that, but from what we can tell, her whole reason for all of this is to stop Madoka from becoming a magical girl, and it seems like the whole reason she's gonna become one to begin with is to save Homura, which might have been what happened in the future to begin with. Like, she saved Homura, sacrificed herself to do that, and that's what triggered Homura to go back, only for it to basically happen again. It's what it seems like we're building up to. So where the hell this is all going to go, what kind of endings we're going to get for these characters, I have no idea. There's so many directions it can go in, and I'm really, really excited to see where it's going to go, especially now that we have all this new information from Kyubey. I was comparing it to Steins Gate, because I was wondering if they were going to bring up, like, okay, save, like, you don't have to care about the entropy of the universe or whatever, you just have to care about saving your friend, which reminded me of Steins Gate. And, like, I don't really give a shit about the World War III or whatever, I just want to save Kurisu, and also just the time travel stuff. And it was also reminding me of Gurren Lagann, as in, like, the villains who are doing what they're doing for the greater good of the universe. And so yeah, like, both of those shows are shows that I love, and this has become a show that I love too, so no complaints there. But yeah, Kyubey, I've got to believe him on all of this stuff. Like, I want to distrust everything he says, because he's been sufficiently creepy, and he even lies in this episode. But he seems to be telling the truth. He says that his species, which are just aliens, I guess, they are trying to prevent the entropy of the universe, like energy loss, and they're able to create massive amounts of energy through this process that they discovered, and humans were the perfect subject because of the emotions that they feel and like their reproductive rates and everything, and specifically the best targets are girls at puberty stage. Changing them into magical girls and then thus into witches creates a vast amount of energy that is good for the universe as a whole. And I want to hate him so much, and I mostly do just because of his face. I just don't like his face. Like, when you get a close-up on his creepy little beady eyes, it's like, ew, get out of here. But he makes sense, and he's understandable, and I didn't really expect that. I expected him to be evil for a little bit, but then as the show went on and we understood more about him, that he just, he didn't really tell them, or, not tell them about the whole soul gem thing out of malice. He just literally didn't understand. Of course, through experience with other magical girls, learning how they react, maybe at this point he avoided it on purpose, because he's like, well, I know if I tell them they're not gonna do it, but inherently, generally, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand why that's a big deal and why they care so much. So from his perspective, it's not a big deal. So he's like, why would I even bother telling you? But then especially, not only is their soul in the gem, they can also become witches. Kind of a big thing. That's one of the biggest sticking points, that he just wasn't completely honest. But he's just a different animal. He's literally an alien. He doesn't feel these emotions. He doesn't understand the human perspective. He's just being completely logical about it. Like, I can sacrifice some people, like, not that many in the grand scheme of things, especially compared to how many of you there are. And this is for the greater good of the universe. And one day, humans are going to expand out as well, and you're not going to be stuck on this one little rock anymore. You're going to go out there and join us in the grander universe, and do you want it to be a shitty-ass universe? No. So he's like, yeah, this is great. So you have amazing potential, Madoka. You become the greatest magical girl and the worst witch, so if you want to die to save the universe, there you go. And he just tells her all this. He's completely honest about it, which is really surprising. Not honest, however, is with Kyoko. I have really liked the way Kyoko's character has gone. It was pretty clear that she would have to come around to their side eventually, and having Kyubey as a common enemy when the Soul Gem thing was first revealed definitely seemed like it would play a part in that, and that's really where it started. But then also the conversations with Sayaka and just watching everything happen between Madoka and Sayaka has really made her come around a lot, and it's been very gradual and like very pretty natural feeling to me. It just kind of happened, but not in a way that it feels like it just came out of nowhere. And that's the case with the whole show. Like I was talking about before, they've done so much in only 9 episodes. It's crazy that this is a one-core show. Most of my favorites are longer because you just have so much time to do so many things, but they've done so much in just 9 episodes and made me feel so much emotion in so many different ways for all these characters and made me think about so many things. But it hasn't felt rushed at all. So it's the same thing there. Like Kyoko just had this change that felt really natural, and it didn't feel rushed or anything. I was really liking the way her character was going. I was worried about what might happen, and he's saying, well, it's not impossible to save Sayaka. I definitely didn't think it was going to happen with the tone this show has mostly established. There was no saving Sayaka unless we get some big Madoka sacrifice at the end where she fixes everything. But just from what they're going to do here, that didn't seem like there was any saving her, and he's saying, well, I've never seen it happen, but I guess I can't say for sure that I absolutely know all of the limitations of magical girls. He's not even really fully lying. He thinks he is, though. He does think it is impossible, and probably was. But the wording kind of lets him get out of that a little bit. But then at the end he says, yeah, it was impossible. He basically sent Kyoko in there to die, so that Homura would fight the Walpurgis on her own, which she can't do, so that Madoka would make the choice to save her and help fight. It's the shit like that, where it's like, ooh, you little bastard. But it's great, because it's a good balance, because he is a sneaky little fucker and you want to strangle him. But also, like, he is doing this for reasons that he finds to be good, and he wants to help the greater good of the universe. And Madoka says, well, if you're doing that, even if you're only going to try to kill, like, a few humans, that does make you our enemy. And it's like, yeah, for sure. It's just a matter of perspective and where you're coming from. Like, he can't help it. He doesn't understand the emotions and trickery and all this. That's literally just how he's made. That's just his biological makeup. But for Kyoko to go out like that, I love the conversations that they were having, and Madoka being worried about being a coward. Girls had so much stacked on top of her. It's just so much sadness, just all the time. And then Sayaka's body, and her just basically being dead, or really in this state worse than death, really, and crying over that, and Homura being so upfront about that. Homura's kind of been a common enemy as well for Kyoko to argue against. But yeah, she is just focused on Madoka and Madoka's safety and convincing her, don't be a magical girl. So if what it takes to accomplish that is to throw Sayaka's body on the ground and be like, hey, look at this, is that what you want to become? And be really harsh about it to piss off Kyoko, that's what she's willing to do. So now Madoka's got to be sad over that. Just so much going on. And of course she feels terrible about all this and was wondering if it makes her a coward. But Kyoko is right. Like, I mean, she's going in there and being so involved despite not having any power herself because she cares so much. And there's a lot of courage behind that. And she's right. And she says, like, there's no reason to do it. Why would you become a magical girl and put your life on the line in these life or death situations when you don't have to do it? Like, that's just stupid. That's just suicide. And I agree. Like, it's definitely been a little agitating here and there just because you want Madoka to make a decision one way or the other. But it's completely understandable why she's so conflicted and why she's being so down on herself. And it's definitely respectable, everything that she has done so far. And I can't wait to see how it all ends with her character and everything else. And then for Kyoko to go in there and fight the witch, knowing that it's probably not going to work out. You're going to have to just take her out normally or something even worse is going to happen. Which, oh man. I love the design, first of all, with the knight armor and the swords, along with all the music because of Kyosuke. But I was saying, like, Kyoko's not going to die, right? I threw that out there, and I really didn't think it was going to happen. Like, they're not going to do that. The very next episode after Sayaka transformed like that, they're going to kill Kyoko too. Sayaka's going to kill Kyoko. Because of this, because of them wanting to save her, Kyoko's gonna die too. That's not gonna happen. And then it became clear, oh shit, that's what's gonna happen. Are you kidding me? She's getting injured, she separates them, tells them to get out of there, and it's clear that that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna take herself out along with Sayaka, which was a great moment, and I love the image during the ED and the ED itself. Holy shit, it's like, damn show. You just never let up. It's insane. Yeah, I'm loving it, and I can't wait to see where all this goes. Just the mermaid as well. She also had the mermaid tail, and there was that great shot in the alley of like the mermaid wind chimes and then the unicorn on the other, and then the parallel with that in the actual battle, which is great because that was a really good shot, and you notice those in the foreground, and it looks cool, and then the way it plays back in the battle is awesome. But yeah, I can't wait to see where this all goes. Like, I mean, it seems clear at this point. Maybe it'll even be next time, like the Walpurgis will come in. There's not much else left to do. Everybody's dead. All we have is Madoka and Homura, in addition to just like Kyubey and Hitomi and all those guys. But our main players are magical girls. We just have Madoka and Homura. And I don't know what else there is to do other than just get all the answers from Homura and everything and fight the Walpurgis, and Madoka becomes one. Maybe it'll be at the end of episode 10. Maybe it'll be in 11. I'm not totally sure, but where it'll all go and if we can have some kind of happiness in the ending, I don't know, but Madoka has this great potential. So we'll see what happens, what she can do with her godlike power when she actually does it, what kind of wish she'll make, because it's been made more clear as the show has gone on, and people have told me this in the comments as well, that like the magical girl's power, basically the way the wishing works is that like Kyubey doesn't directly grant the wish. He doesn't have like a wish granting power. The wish comes from like the creation of a magical girl, like the energy they produce and the power behind them allows a wish to be granted, which has been made a little more clear, even if it hasn't been like directly stated. It's been made more clear as we learn more, and as he talked about how Madoka, because of her grand potential and so much power that she would have the potential to make this wish to become like a god, implying that other girls wouldn't be able to do that. So if Sayaka had wished for something like that, it just maybe, I guess, wouldn't have happened. I don't know if she just wouldn't transform, if they'd be like, try again, make a smaller wish and hope that works. I don't know how that works exactly, but, you know, the power comes from them. And yeah, it's been nice to get clarifying comments about that, and it's just kind of been made clear over the course of the show too. So whatever this crazy power that Madoka will awaken will be and what she'll use it for, I don't know, but I can't wait to see more, because this is really great. It was also cool to see more directly Homura's time manipulation powers running with Kyoko the way that she did. But yeah, great getting more info about Kyubey. It seems like so straightforward and obvious. Like it was fairly predictable that, like, yeah, magical girls would become witches, and it seems like Kyubey's got these greater motives, but you don't know exactly what they are. Maybe he's just trying to get power for some evil purpose. Maybe he's doing this for the greater good, but it's all like basically straightforward and makes sense, but it's just played out in a really interesting way throughout the course of the show. And so it's great to get all that information. And how the hell's that going to end up? You know, how are we going to address that in the end, now that Madoka has that knowledge about the entropy of the universe? That just throws a whole nother wrench into it, and I'm really excited. So you just gotta aliens. We're gonna fight Kyubey's entire alien species? Probably not. But that just raises a lot of questions. Just straight up. Little alien cat creature things. What is he? Is he like a squirrel? Whatever. There's a lot. Sayaka's arc was really sad, and now it sucks what happened to Kyoko too. She grew as a character really well. It's great and really surprising that she became like such a pairing with Sayaka. People definitely ship them, don't they? Big time, I'm sure. That's probably a thing. Like Homura and Madoka, and then Sayaka and Kyoko, and Mami. I don't know, the two halves of Mami together. Yeah, because your head is half of your body. But I have to hold out some kind of hope that there can be some kind of happiness. Madoka making some kind of sacrifice to fix everything and bring everybody back somehow. Something like that. Like, honestly, the more characters die, in a way, the less tragic. Because, like, once it gets to the point where it's just like, okay, everybody's dying and everything is sad all the time, then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, maybe this can be fixed. If it was just like Mami died, then, you know, that's pretty concrete. Like, okay, she died. That's tragic. She was just like the one death in this whole thing. That's really unfortunate for her. But once everything gets so bad, it's all just fucked. It's like, okay, maybe there's a way to fix this all in the end. We can go this dark because it'll all work out in the end anyway. I've mentioned it before. There's like a quote from some author. Oh no, that's right. Last time I didn't remember who it was from. Somebody told me, and now I remember. So thank you to the person who told me whenever it was. It was Don Bluth, I believe. And he said that, like, with kids' movies, you can make it as dark as you want, as long as it's a happy ending. Like, as long as it all works out in the end, the journey can be as fucked up as you want. Not to say that it'll all work out in the end, but I have hope that there'll be some hope. So let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. We can talk about it more in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. Check out the description down below as well for all the stuff linked down there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.